RingGangRadio.com. Take over. Last mission. Final boss mode.
Oh man, but yeah, let's move on to our final topic of the night. And now if you go to our Twitter right now, there's a poll up there. And the poll is, which of these terms is the most overused in boxing? Is it marinate or exposed or robbery? So and so it's right now. Just look at the results of what people have answered, and it's pretty interesting too. I mean, robbery seems to be the lead right now. Has 41%. Has a slight lead over exposed, and with marinate
42% for robbery, 38% for exposed, and 21% for marinate, and that's 24 votes.
Yeah. So it's interesting. Now, you guys, what do you guys think from these terms? Which one is the most overused in boxing?
We all picked three different things, so we all
sure did.
Three-way answer.
Oh man, marinate. It's only picked up steam in the last couple of years because of course, these fights not happening when they're supposed to.
Nah, it's way longer than the last.
Honestly, though, I feel like with marinate, most of the time when marinate is used, it's used in like in a sarcastic, mocking way. Honestly.
But promoters are the one using that word, and then the fans just make jokes about it because we're traumatized by not getting the fights we want. And remember, see, the other two words is what creates the word marinate. When you have a guy that they're trying to fucking steer on the path of righteousness and that narrow path of he can't fuck up, he can't look bad, he can't look too good, he can't be too dangerous. So you trying to navigate your fighter so he doesn't get exposed. You might enlist the other word that's overused, robbery. But as we spoke on this podcast, there's times when there are legit robberies. So maybe
it's
overused because there's a lot of bad judging.
Yes. Unfortunately, yes. When you have bad judging, you get robberies. So that's the unfortunate.
Is it our fault that we just, reporting what we see?
Yeah.
I mean, that's like with gangster rap. Like, hold on, them niggas just talk about their neighborhood. They just talk about their lives. That's what they doing. We can't hate on that. So why can't they do something about it? Well, I mean, they living in the ghetto, in the hood. They're disenfranchised. The taxes don't go to here, this, that. There's no education centers, this, that. Buses don't run, this, that. So you get that. So to avoid robbery and fucking expose fights that you want to see, have to marinate.
Yeah.
So they all go together. It's a trifecta. It's like Ring Gang. It's a lot of pieces, but the pieces fit and they work.
Right, it's like, they both have they both have a relationship. You can't have exposed robbery without marinate. You can't have marinate without exposed and robbery. It's a two-way relationship.
They all go together. But maybe if we had some better judging, people wouldn't be so angry at, we wouldn't see so many robberies, and then we wouldn't worry about guys having tough fights, so we wouldn't say they're exposed, so now they can have big fights happen more often and they don't have to marinate.
And obviously a good fight, that embodies all three, obviously, is Deontay Wilder versus Tyson Fury.
Oh shit.
Wow.
Bullseye.
Yeah. Pretty much the first fight, it happened.
Robbery.
Yeah. And then afterwards, it was supposed to be an immediate rematch, but instead, Tyson Fury went top rank round, and he fought two other fights.
So to keep from being exposed.
Yeah. They marinated that fight. And then it got to the point, where the rematch happened, and Fury managed to shake off whatever ring rust he had and exposed Wilder's limitations by fighting and beating him in a different way. So
whooping his ass. Damn.
yeah.
So yeah, you see it right there. It was a robbery created the damn created the marinade. And then after the marinade, you got it exposed.
Yeah.
Bada bing, bada boom.
I hear you. To me, robbery has always been the most like. I feel like it gets overused. I feel like even like
there's too many robbery.
But it's very because maybe this is just me, and this is just my opinion, the way I view it. I feel like we just use the term robbery instead because yes, there are questionable decisions, but I think there's a difference between a questionable decision and a straight up robbery. I can look at some fights, and I guess it depends on how you look at how you judge. I can look at a fight and say, I look at it like this and say, okay, well, I feel like this person won, but at the same time, I can understand why somebody would go the other way. Like I analyze everything. I'm like, okay, well, we all have our biases. I prefer this and this and this, so I do lean towards more of this. But another judge might lean towards this. And when you take into account swing rounds and all that stuff, okay, I can. Most of the time, we all end up with something different. It's very rare that I look at a fight.
You got to do all that analyzation and shit. Then the fight is a robbery when you got to do all that damn mind.
I don't agree. No, it's not mind fuckery. It's just understanding that not all judges like see things the same way, and sometimes that's okay. Like it's a styles clash. You know what I'm saying? Right. I'll use the verse as an example. It's like DMX versus Snoop Dogg. It's such a clash of styles that you could have it either way if you wanted to tally it up and say who you think won that versus. Somebody, like I said, like... Yeah,
but see, that's close and competitive. Like, usually a robbery is on some, like, there's a clear winner.
But we use robbery.
Snoop and DMX was close though.
But we use robberies even for close fights. Like,
what close fight was a fucking robbery that you don't want to hear people use robbery for?
How about all of the Pacquiao Marquez fights? Let me see.
Yeah, honestly, I feel like robbery was overused in that. I agree with you on that.
Let me see. There are some people that still say that that Porter was robbed against Thurman. I still hear that plenty of times. Like,
wow. Yeah, I disagree with that. That was a close competitive.
I still hear people say, Clottey got robbed against Cotto. No, maybe I could see why people would give it to Clottey, but I could see why people give it to Cotto. It's not a robbery. That's what I'm saying.
I don't feel like Clottey Cotto was a robbery. I felt like Clottey let the fight go at the last 2 rounds and he got dropped. That's like 3 guaranteed rounds he lost.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying.
When you add up all the other rounds Cotto won where he was putting hands on Clottey, it's more like you kind of gave it away.
But I'm saying, like, what I'm saying is, just because I think that somebody that I don't agree and that I think that the wrong person won doesn't mean it was a robbery. I thought that, like, for example, I had Danny Jacobs beating Golovkin, and I know we disagree with that, but I saw it that way. But I'm not saying it's a robbery.
But no, that was actually close enough. I could see that being a go either way. Just like with Spence Porter, like some of these fights, the knockdown really be the difference. But I feel like
I had Derevianchenko beating Golovkin by a point, but whenever that gets up, I'm not gonna say, Derevianchenko was robbed, yada yada. I say I thought he won the fight, but it's not a robbery.
I can see that because those fights are close enough, like where there's enough back and forth action. The knockdowns really kind of sealed it. But you got people who were saying Pacquiao Bradley wasn't a robbery.
That is a robbery. See, to me, that is a robbery.
See, and that's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the clear fucking robberies that people are denying, or they get mad when you mention it's a robbery.
Word.
But when you use like, but the problem is it's becomes so overused that it's lost its meaning. So that when an actual robbery happens, it's like, like we think everything is a robbery, so it devalues an actual robbery.
Nah, the word I like to use is damn. Could have gone either way.
Or I say a gift. I don't think a gift is the same
gift
thing
is
as
the
a
same.
robbery.
It's fucking robbery though.
I don't view a gift as a robbery. I don't.
It's
view them the
okay.
same.
If it's look, if when you say gift, I feel like that's a stolen victory. So somebody stole something from the store and gave it to you, nigga. Somebody robbed something. You. There ain't no fucking gift about it. It's a fucking robbery.
Questionable
I see,
way.
man, you trying to be fucking nice about this shit.
But I'm not being nice about it. I'm not
Nigga,
being nice.
You went from gift on some like, hey, here you go. Here's a gift. Happy birthday. Now it's questionable. Now, well, I wanted to get you Mortal Kombat 2, but you got to be on your report card. Dad, remember, I stayed home that one day they had the quiz. Yeah, that's questionable.
Now,
if you mow the labor's yard, then maybe I'll, get you that video game, son. Like, no, you got fucking robbed.
Now, the reason why I don't mind the other terms is because I do believe, like, for example, I'm not against marinating. My problem with marinating is the way it's done. Like, I'm okay with fighters. No,
marinating is marinating, nigga. No,
it's not. No, not all marinating is the same. I think.
Okay. Name a good marinating.
Zab Judah Costa Zoo.
What the fuck? That wasn't a nigga. That was just the division unfolding, and with the top dudes on course to fight each other.
But they built it up very well. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like,
because everybody was fucking fighting everybody who they were supposed to until those were the last two left. That's not fucking marinating.
Like,
that's what happens. Dude, you was maybe too fucking young for that fight. I'm gonna be honest with you, because that's the lead up to Zab and Costa Zoo is what we want to happen in boxing all the time. That's basically what Lomachenko and Lopez was.
But that is kind of, in a way, I do kind of look at building up something as marinating.
The fuck? No, nigga.
I guess maybe we're looking at the word marinating wrong. I guess differently.
Build up and marinating is two different things. Build up is building till you get something. Boom. Marinate is just letting it just stand still and not go nowhere.
Until it expires or it's no longer a feasable fight.
Thank you.
Eventually everything expires, but when you're building up something, is kind of marinating. Like, you're letting it.
Nigga. Look. Okay, look. Zab Judah and Costa Zoo is a build-up. Remember, guys were fighting 2 and 3 times a year. They was fighting top-ranked guys. They was doing double headers. They was at each other fights. That was build-up. And it was a meaningful build-up. Marinating is fucking Canelo Golovkin 1, where one guy finally wins the fucking middleweight belt. He promises he's gonna fight the guy, the next big guy, the number 1 contender, and he fights fucking Beefy Smith, Amir Khan, Julio Cesar Chavez, while the other guy is fighting Kell Brook and damn Danny Jacobs and Wade.
Yeah.
So one guy seemed like he was building up the fight on his end, and the other guy was playing Euro career mode. So that's a marinate, because the thing is, it's not like Canelo was saying, okay, fuck it, I'm gonna take down Andre, I'm gonna fight one of these Charlo niggas, or I'm gonna rematch Laura.
Mm-hmm.
So there was no build-up. It was just, the fight was sitting there. No other fights were happening that we're like, okay, these are two best guys and they're just about to get it on. No, man, like, it's a difference. A build-up has a positive end to it. Marinating is like you put 2 things in the fucking pot and you walk away, and then you come back later when you should have came back sooner. Like, damn, man. Like, I hope you box a lot meaner than the fucking excuses you giving to these terms, my nigga. Jeez, man. Like, real talk. Like,
LB is on one tonight, bruh.
nigga said, like, bro, you can't. This nigga said Zab Judah Ikasazu. Like, bro, I literally got the build up to that fight on VHS. Like, with all the random fights, all the fights that was leading up to that fight. Like, that shit was no fucking marinade.
I mean, like I said, I guess we disagree on
no, nigga, that was just a bad example. Ain't no disagreeing on that shit. Fuck that. That could be the next poll.
I mean, marinating went. I mean, let me see. Let me think of an example of marinating that kind of went right. I mean, as much as we hate to say it, fucking Floyd Pacquiao turned out.
No, get the fuck out of here, nigga. No, and I knew you was gonna say that shit. You're not gonna say that fucking a fight that took 6 years to make marinated right. For who?
No,
for who? Not the fans. We're not talking about them fucking bank accounts and stockbrokers, nigga. Nah. Give me a better example than that. Don't use that. That's the reason why fucking fights is marinating now.
Well, not everybody should be marinated. But
that fight didn't need to be marinated either, nigga. That's the problem.
So do you think that if that fight came out in 2010, it would have done the same amount of buys that it did?
Yes, when it would have promoted it. The fight, look, man. All this shit about that taking, it was bigger. Dude, it was bigger because y'all for 6 fucking years, but we didn't get the better fight out of it. So it made no difference. And then they're not like they did some press tour around the world. These niggas had closed circuit shit. They ain't want the public attending.
Well, I mean, they didn't need to. The fight itself was.
Bruh, don't say you don't need to if you don't. If you don't decide to do something. A fight, you be like, dude, who are you? Are you fucking arguing for the promoters? You telling me?
No, I'm not arguing.
Biggest fights ever in the world, ever. Didn't deserve a press tour so the fans from across the fucking country could see them and interact and see them talking. So Mayweather McGregor deserved the press tour?
No.
Canelo Mayweather?
I mean, I didn't think that fight should have been made at all. Canelo Mayweather, that should have been a press tour.
It had one.
Yes, but that fight wasn't on the level.
Why not Pacquiao? That was some corporate shit. That shit was pure marinade, bro. You could have.
I'm not looking at it from the perspective of promoters. I'm actually looking at it because I like to see fight. I do like to. I'm gonna admit.
Bro, it marinated to the point where Pacquiao took 2 losses.
Facts.
Like, come on. Like, how dare you even say that fight was marinate done right? You're not a boxing fan saying that shit. I question that shit. Give me a nigga. A better example.
Well, what are we talking about? Are we talking about? Because I look at it in the way.
That's what I'm telling you. Build up and marinate is 2 different things. You keep saying a marinate that ended up good. Marinate never ends up good, nigga. So tell me a fight that was fucking marinated that ended up good.
Damn. Now I gotta fucking think about this shit.
You can't because it's called building up the fucking fight, bro. Marinating has no end, and when it gets it's like Pat said, it expires.
Yeah.
Okay.
It expires for one reason or another, but it's no longer feasible. Like the aforementioned Gamboa. And
what about? Oh, actually, but then again, you could say this is a build up. I was gonna say, what about Kovalev Ward?
It wasn't even hyped up like that. That was like a regular build.
It should have been. I mean, it could have been done, quicker. But they wanted to build it up, but then they didn't even.
That was weird, though. I mean, any super fight or meaningful fight with Ward that's outside of the Super 6 was going to take long to make anyway. So that's not even a good answer. Like, were niggas really anticipating Ward Kovalev? No, they was anticipating Kovalev Superman.
Yeah,
I actually wanted to see Ward Kovalev, so I guess we differ on that.
12 other people.
And Kovalev Superman.
Oh yeah, I forget because you don't fuck with this nigga at all.
know what I'm saying? Like, was it a good fight that was made timely? Yes. But was it the best fight at 175 where we're like, oh, and remember Kovalev really built that up because he was the one beating everybody ass at 175, taking names. Ward, he moonlighting on BET and shit.
So okay, then if you think that if you're arguing about difference between marinating and build up, okay, then we see it differently. I guess this is another fucking semantic battle again. Because
it's just you're saying it's like I mean, Pat, like, do you see what I'm saying? Like, do you see like there's a difference between build up and marinate?
There is, like I said. I mean, building up is pretty much.
So see, I was looking at it as marinating was helping build up, but if you're saying that. But
you
if you're looking at
build up, if it's building up correctly, if it's building up.
Yeah, building up is getting the fight to its highest point of sellability, if that's even a word.
And okay. So you're saying, and you marinate is when it's already there, and then we just let it sit. Okay.
Yes.
Well, that's what I'm saying. We're arguing semantics because my definition of marinating was kind of, I looked at it differently than the way you looked at it.
But see, this is the thing, nigga. You're arguing your fucking definition when you got two different people telling you what fucking build up and marinate is. I gave you so many examples. You telling me about marinates that end up good when they didn't end up good. Who enjoyed Pacquiao Mayweather? Fucking Ward Kovalev had to happen twice.
Well, I mean, it did. I mean, and I guess this is where
speak as a fan.
Well, as much as a fan I am. I've always said, even in all sports, not just boxing, I am pro athletes, and I do like to see athletes get paid as much as possible.
At the end of the day, Pacquiao Mayweather marinated so much to where we still don't know who would have won in their prime. That's how I feel.
I don't feel that way either. I don't feel that way at all. I feel like
I feel that way.
I feel like maybe it would have been closer. It would have been closer. But I feel like the end of the fight,
the actual fight was close. So I'm looking at it like, well, damn. What would have happened if these guys would have fought in 2011, 2010 instead of fucking 2015? With Pacquiao, what if how fast Mayweather would have reacted, and after getting the hard punches from them and headbutts from fucking Ortiz and Mosley that he didn't need to take. The extra hands and body punches that Pacquiao took for Margarito that he didn't need to take. The fucking robbery against Bradley that he didn't need. The fucking knockout by Marquez. Like, come on, man. Like, that shit does something to a fighter. You putting extra miles on niggas for what? Like I said, I still don't know who would have, like... I'm looking at... I want to see the Floyd from the fucking Hatton... Or, I'm sorry... I wanted to see the Pacquiao from the Cotto fight Floyd. That was the fight that people said Floyd was ducking. Not the motherfucking Margaret, not the Pacquiao that's struggling with Marquez in the third fight. You see what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, I disagree on that, but I mean, I get it.
So people wanted to see so people were really hyped about seeing Mayweather Pacquiao after he got knocked out. Niggas already saying like, dude, you forgetting that niggas was like, well, damn, Floyd beat Marquez, so why we even, you beating Pacquiao now? Why we even need this fight?
No. I always argued against that because that was always a stupid theory. Like, that was stupid logic,
and
right?
You know what happens when fights marinate? Fucking stupid theories come up.
That would never was like, because one person, like, styles make fights, like. The triangle theory bullshit I never agreed with. So that was always a stupid narrative to me.
The whole fucking marinating process for that fight was stupid. And we still got a trash ass fight with a trash ass undercard.
Yeah,
for $100. Ugh. The disrespect them niggas have for boxing. Imagine shit. I guess your logic, Frazier Ali had marinated. I'm sure everybody wanted to see that fight, when Frazier first won the title.
Oh man.
Or on the come up?
I'm looking at it. I'm looking at the definition of marinate right now because I'm like, I don't know, like.
Well, I'm pretty sure if you see marinate, it'll probably say, you're marinating meat or some shit like that.
The process of soaking foods in a season, saying before you cook it. So it's like you're building it up. When you're cooking it, you marinate the steak. It's not done yet. If it was done, then it would have already been marinated. But I get it. I guess we don't.
You guys are your semantics.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
He's thinking too hard about it. He's thinking too hard. Like the only example, like, he can't give a good example of a marinating a fight because it doesn't exist. Every time someone's had to marinate, it always ends up being marinated too long because that's what happens with boxing. We overkill on everything.
Yeah,
so it's something we feel like needs to marinate for a couple fights or a month or two, whatever, or a year. It happens until fucking 3 years. That's just the nature of the game. So build up.
I guess, yeah. I guess we see that.
Something.
Yeah, we see that differently because I looked at it as one and the same. When you see it, you don't see them the same at all. From Europe.
Okay, build. Look up the definition of build, then, nigga.
Oh my god.
No, you looked up marinate.
I mean,
you
really?
Looked up marinate.
Oh shit! Build. Construct by putting parts or material together over a period of time.
Okay. You got that. Now, marinate is all that shit put together and just letting it sit and soak.
Well, you gotta fucking season food. Like if you gotta season
the
shit.
Build up, nigga.
But if it's not seasoned, then is it really built up? Like that's what I'm saying.
God.
Like
look.
now I'm looking at it from cooking. Now you got me hungry. Like,
now see, look. Marinating is something that all the season is already put on the meat. Everything's cut up. It's in there, sitting in the pot, or it's sitting like when you curry chicken. You season up the curry chicken. You put it in the refrigerator, let it sit overnight. That's marinating. Now, if you one of these niggas that sometimes you don't cook all the time, you might let that shit marinate for 3 fucking days before you get back to it, when you only need to let it marinate 1 day.
You guys are your.
When you building up something, you cutting up the chicken, this, that. It's already built before you already purchased the chicken. You already seasoned it, you cut it up, it's in the right pieces. You either cook it now or you let it marinate. The problem with boxing is after we cut up everything and got all the pieces together, niggas be like, all right, we can let it sit in the refrigerator for a little bit. And then what happens? That shit be in the refrigerator till next week. AKA in boxing 3 years later.
Yo, you two will fucking kill me with this shit.
I'm just saying, it's like it's 2 different definitions.
Yeah, well, like I said, I mean, it. As
marinate is just sitting there basically, like it's not an active fucking thing. He's trying to turn marinate into like a verb. Marinating is just standing still.
Well, marinating technically is a verb.
Yeah, it is a verb, but
it is like
a. It's not like all verbs ain't equal, nigga. Look. When you see somebody building something, you see an action, you see something moving. Marinate is like a word for something sitting. Sitting is a verb, but are you really doing something sitting? Think about it. I got him. What can you say to that?
And we'll end this conversation on that note. So yeah, so if you see that poll that we have up on Twitter, man.
I mean, I was gonna talk about the exposed part, but okay, that's fine.
Nah, we exposed that you don't know the difference between marinating and build up. Nah, nigga, you ain't gotta say that on exposed.
Fuck out of here.
And
Fuck you, nigga.
And I'm sure there'll be a part 2 on this. I'm sure at some point when some fight comes up and it meets the criteria for 3 words.
Yeah, the next fight that gets built up.
Yeah.
Nah. We'll wait till it's marinated just right. Until it sits on the table long enough.
And pray that there's no robberies or anything.
I'm done.
Oh man. So,
that nigga put the cherry on the cake on that one. I think it's pray that there's no robbery.
Stupid. So we come to the end of our show for tonight. Oh man, So LB, man, do you have any final thoughts that are not robbery related?
Nah, man. Just ringgangradio.com. Y'all tune in. Y'all keep subscribing to the YouTube, the IG, follow us on Podomatic, Spotify, iTunes, all that shit. Twitter. We try to be engaging as fuck with the tweets and the polls and mythical matchups, all that shit. Don't hurt if you retweet your boy, retweet Ring Gang.
Yes, sir.
I mean, I'm personally working on episode 2 with the cartoon and getting that together because we know y'all fuck with that part 1. So I'll probably drop it. I already started on the that Swift Spence artwork, so I'll probably drop that this week. At least the black and white. Nigga busy. But other than that, Ring Gang the future. Ring Gang is now. That's all I got to say. Tech and Destroy EP out on Spotify and the streaming platforms. Shout out to the rest of the gang.
Yes.
DZ, Clanarchy, Prolific, PJ, Rome. Y'all know what it do.
Absolutely. P, do you have any final thoughts, bro?
Well, one thought is I'm definitely going to remember this conversation tomorrow when I'm marinating my steak, but whatever. Anyways, you already know what it is, Ring Gang Radio all day, every day, twice on Sundays. Tech and Destroy out now. Go listen, shit is fire. And you already know, ringgangradio.com.
There you go.
Ring Gang Radio cartoons. Go watch that if you haven't. Shit's fire. Go watch it twice. If you watch it again, watch it again.
And share that bitch.
Yeah, share that bitch.
Don't keep just watching it. Share it too.
Yep. Tell your boxing friends to get with our boxing friends, and we could all be boxing friends.
Hey,
take that.
Bars. That's what it is.
We can argue about marinating every day. You know what I'm saying?
Word.
Oh man, see, yeah. The only thing I have to add on, like I said, follow everything, sub everything, especially the Instagram. Like I said, there are some gems in there, obviously, whether it's not a nightly knockout or if it's a trailer from our podcast or, the cartoons or, or bars and boxing stuff, prediction videos. Speaking of that, I'm working on a couple since we have some bigger fights coming down the pike later this month. So, look out for those. And, definitely on the YouTube. Like I say, I see the subs are increasing. Just keep, tell your friends to, tell them to sub too, man. Because we got that shit that you want and need. They got that John Blaze shit. You know what I mean? So yeah, but for the ones who are still supporting us, thank you. And like I said, we do this for y'all. We got more shit for you, to come. So for myself, Pat Scope, the New England representative. For LB Shuttleworth, the God, the GOAT artist, for King P, Bodega P, this has been another wonderful episode of Real Talk, where as always, if shit's real, we talk about it. So until next time, peace.